It is October, and I've done my wrap-up for the month, which means it's time to do my Readathon recap. These are videos that I make every month, recapping what readathons I read for, what prompts I used for some of the readathons, and checking in with readathons that I've found out about have come higher in my attention in the past month to add to my giant readathon list that I keep in the description box below. I keep this list so that I will have a big long list of readathons when they happen every year, ideally who they're put on by, so that I can go back and find readathons that I like. I was finding that I would forget about certain readathons, or I would not realize that they were happening at the time that they happened, or I would forget where to find them. So I started this big long list. Let's start off with Blackoween. Blackoween was created by Bree at Locked Booktition, and that happens, I believe, all throughout October. I saw it on Robin Reed's channel. I love her channel. The whole idea is that you read Black horror, mystery, suspense, crime authors. I will be reading some Black authors who are writing suspense, horror, mystery, etc., but I haven't looked at all the prompts to participate in. This year especially, it sounds super fun because it's like a love letter to New Orleans, and there's this whole game that goes around with it, and you become part of a parish, and it sounds awesome. Another diverse readathon that I'm participating in the entire month of October is Gothtober, which was created by Readathon and Olivia's Catastrophe. I've talked about this one before. I showed my Gothtober pile of possibilities in my October reset, and this is for reading gothic books, horror, mystery, anything with a gothic vibe. And it doesn't have to be diverse authors, but ideally it'll be diverse authors, and that diversity can fall under BIPOC authors, people of color, Asian authors, or it can fall under disability rep, LGBTQIA+ rep. I'm hoping I have a good mix of things in my pile of possibilities. There's a game that goes along with it this year, which is also super fun. Don't forget, it is Occult Detective October this month, which also sounds good. I'm hoping that some of the books that I picked out for Gothtober will fit into Occult Detective October. A readathon that already passed, but I wanted to mention again because I can't remember if I mentioned it in another video, was Shakestober. I did actually start reading Antony and Cleopatra for this, but I didn't get through it all the way in September. Shakestember is a time to read Shakespeare throughout September. Another readathon that I recently heard about was Fall into Winter Readathon. This is put on by the PM Reader, Nerdy Nat Reads. Those are two of my all-time favorite booktubers, so if you haven't checked them out, I will list their channels linked down below. The only thing I know about this is it's a very gentle readathon where you read autumnal and winter books in the last 3 months of the year, and I don't think there's a lot of stakes to it, but it makes it easy to just get through some of those books on your TBR. Moving on to the readathons that I did participate in September, I always participate in the Savage prompts, but I don't always do them in the month that they fall in, and this is one of those months. I did not get to the Savage prompt this month, but I did do my TBR spin book. I vlog all of my TBR spin reading, and I also do my Savage prompt reading, but that usually comes out a couple books at a time. The TBR spin comes out one book at a time, and in September I read The Road from Karain by Jill Kerr Conway. So you can check out a video. I will have my playlist linked down below. In September I participated in Shorty September. Shorty September is all about reading short books. I count short books as 250 and below, and I try to stay above novella size if I can, but some of these were definitely novellas. There's a lot of prompts for Shorty September. I wrote them down over here. An unexpected purchase, I used Day of the Trivids because this one I got at a book sale just before this readathon started. Dolphin shorts, water on the cover, I counted Minotaur. Half and Half shorts, which was to read a book and watch a movie. I did not do that. Magic or Witchcraft, I did not have that one. A spicy book or a gossipy book, I would count What Belongs to You. There is some sex in this book. It's not really overly spicy, but we're stretching the prompts a little. That's okay. Trying to look cool, I put Universal Harvester, which is by John Darnell, who is the lead singer of the Mountain Goats, who I love. So I wasn't actually trying to look cool when I got this book, but I figured it kind of looks cool if I read it. I would also go with The Silence by Don DeLillo, even though I didn't like this book, or Don DeLillo. He is a very well-known author, so maybe I'm trying to look cool by reading him. And I would also put reading my first Haruki Murakami book, South of the Border, West of the Sun, as a trying to look cool book. Modern classics, I put Day of the Triffid. Comfort read, I put Exit Strategy, which is the 4th book in the Murderbot series. That's a pretty comforting series in a lot of ways, even though there is a lot of violence and death. Mystery or slasher, you could definitely count Day of the Triffids. You could kind of count Universal Harvester for mystery. And translated work, I read Woman at Point Zero, and Minotaur is also a translated work. So those are my Shorty September books. I also participated in Sci-Fi September, and for Sci-Fi September, I kept reading books that I thought were sci-fi but weren't really. So I read Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. I read The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I read Kill File, which I actually read in August, but I was counting it towards Sci-Fi September, and similarly I read Red Shirts, which I also read in August, but I was counting it towards Sci-Fi September. If you want to know what prompts I read those books for in Sci-Fi September, I have my Sci-Fi September Planetary Prompts tag that you can do. I have a Sci-Fi September reading vlog that you can watch, and I have my Sci-Fi September prompts, which are just the prompts that led me to make the tag. So definitely take a look at those. I also started another 5 books in 5 days challenge this month. This one I am vlogging just like I did the first one, and I didn't fail this one. I did actually read 5 books in 5 days, but I'm continuing the vlog and I'm going to read another 5 books in another 5 days, but I haven't started that second half yet. So you will see a second 5 books in 5 days vlog coming out, but not for a little while. For the September half of that vlog, I read The Silence, South of the Border, West of the Sun, Marcel Duchamp, Foster, and then Why the Woman is Singing on the Corner. So those were all the readathons that I participated in the month of September. Those are all the books and some of the prompts, and I have lots of vlogs and lots of other videos for you to watch, which will all be linked down below. But let me know what readathons you participated in September. Let me know any readathons that you heard about this month that I can add to my giant list. Let me know what some of your favorite readathons are. Maybe they're not on there. Let me know if you're participating in Blackween or Gothtober. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!